there, my name is Miss Amy. I'm a youth health educator for West Virginia University Extension Service Family Nutrition Program. On our program today, we are going to have a lot of fun. We are going to talk all about what plants need to survive, and we're going to do a fun activity to make a know and show sombrero. We're also going to talk about 5 sense foods, grading our food based on all 5 of our senses, not just taste. We're going to have a great recipe demo, cinnamon carrot crunch. We're also going to have a read aloud story, I Will Never Not Ever Eat a Tomato, written by Lauren Child. And also we'll get a little exercise with the help of one of my friends. Again, I'm so excited that you're here joining us, and I look forward to gardening together. We're going to talk about what plants need to survive. I borrowed this high top basil plant from my garden to show you an example of a plant, and I was very impressed with how tall this high top basil has gotten. So what do plants need to survive? I remember what plants need to survive by the word plants. The P is for place. Whether it's in a container like the basil or in a garden, plants need a place to grow. The L is for light. Just like our bodies need to get vitamin D from the sunlight, plants actually use the energy from the sunlight to produce food for themselves. So light is very important. A is for air. Our bodies need oxygen. Take a deep breath with me. Plants actually need oxygen and carbon dioxide. Next is N. N is for nutrients. Just like our body needs nutrients, vitamins, minerals, water, plants also need nutrients. Specifically, they need nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Can you guess what the T is for? Thirsty. Like all living things, plants need water. And finally, the S is for soil. Plants need something to establish roots in. So while they need a place to grow and they need the sun and water and nutrients and air, they also need to be able to establish their roots. So today we are going to do a fun activity where you're going to get to make a know and show sombrero that will be able to help you remember what all plants need to survive. Come check out this video clip I made of making your own know and show sombrero at home. Okay, so we are going to start making our know and show sombrero. To make your know and show sombrero, you need 2 sheets of newspaper. You want full-size sheets. You will place the sheets on the center of your head, and you will have a partner tape around your head. All right, just like that. You will need to take the sides of your paper and roll them up in order to make the brim of your sombrero. I'm rolling it. Roll all the corners in. So we are going to take our sombrero and we are going to add the different pieces we need to represent what plants need. Your sombrero is going to be your place. So you will need to have items to represent light, air, nutrients, water, and soil. One of the first things you'll want to do is you'll want to roll up the brim of your hat and tape it into place. My hat is going to represent my place. The light will be represented by the yellow pipe cleaner. My air will be represented by the feather. My nutrients will be represented by the red puff. Thirsty, for water, I'm going to represent that with a blue balloon. And my soil will be pieces of construction paper. And you can do this any way that you would like. I'm going to take my soil and I'm going to tape 2 of them together. best I can, so that way I can go around my hat with it. Let's tape one more on. Let's put on my water. Take my nutrients, I'm going to put them on the front here. And my feather representing air. And my nutrients, important for plants and our bodies to grow. When all of the needs are met, plants can grow and they can produce food. They're called producers because they produce food for other things to eat. Can you guess what those things are called? We're included, consumers. I hope you guys have enjoyed the lesson, and I look forward to seeing all of your hats. And so during our program, we are going to be using journal pages that are part of the Learn, Grow, Eat, Go curriculum. The journal pages can be accessed on the Junior Master Gardeners Kids page. Here's what the page looks like. When you scroll to the bottom of the page, you will see a section that says Student Garden Journals. You can click on that and download all of the garden journal pages. Garden Journal Week 1. Write a plant need beside each letter below. You remember from our lesson and also doing the Know and Show Sombreros what plants need to survive. Fill it in here. The next section wants you to draw a picture of what you think the seed may become one day. Write 2 sentences to describe what you think the plant would look like when it's grown. Include at least 3 describing words in these sentences. Write 1 more sentence to tell how this grown plant might be useful to you. The bottom section of the garden journals will include tastings. We will be using our 5 senses to taste food. We'll come back to this section after we review 5 sense foods. So let's talk for a minute about how we taste food. How could you describe your favorite food? Follow along as I read I Love Strawberries. I love strawberries. I love the beautiful, bright red color of strawberries. Their dark green leaves are soft, and you can use the leaves as a little handle to hold the strawberry as you eat it. Before you take a bite, you can smell that fresh, sweet strawberry fragrance. When you bite into a fresh strawberry, your teeth break through the thin, bumpy skin. The red part of the berry is usually very tender, and sometimes the inside is white and a little more firm. Some really good strawberries have a surprising, tangy, sour flavor in the very middle. After the first bite, you can take tiny nibbles at the top of the berry just under the leaves. This part is the juiciest. Strawberries is a great example of how you can use all 5 of your senses to describe your favorite foods. In this program, we are going to use all 5 of our senses to taste new foods. We're going to grade them based on sight, smell, feel, sound, and taste. Let's zoom back in on a garden journal page for more information. When we eat, we use all 5 of our senses and sometimes don't even realize it. Sight. We use our eyes to see food, and its appearance can make the food look more or less appealing. Foods that are bright or colorful can look more appetizing. Smell. Before tasting our food, we often can smell it first, while it's cooking, when it's on the table, and as we bring it to our mouths. Our sense of smell contributes to a food's appeal. Foods often have distinct aromas and can make our mouths water or warn us not to eat them. Some examples are smoky, spicy, fishy, meaty, fruity, lemony, faint, and strong, or maybe even burnt, molded, or spoiled. Touch. When we pick up a food, we feel it in our hands, but more important is how the food feels in our mouths when we chew it. This is the food's texture. A food's texture can be chewy, crisp, rough, smooth, soft, soggy, or many other words that indicate how it feels in our mouths. Our sense of touch can also detect a food's temperature, letting us know whether it is warm, hot, cool, or cold. Sound. Although a food's sound is not as important as its taste or appearance, our opinion about a food can be influenced by the sound it makes when we cook it, serve it, or eat it. Think about the crunch when you bite into an apple, the sizzle of a hamburger being grilled, or the splash of tea as it's poured over ice. Listen for the pop when you take a bite of your carrot. Taste. Our tongues can taste foods and determine whether they are sweet, bitter, salty, sour, and sometimes even when they are spoiled. Along with the other senses, taste helps you determine whether you want to eat a certain food. Now that we reviewed this, I encourage you to take a tasting of a carrot and grade it based on the 5 senses. Hi friends, it's Miss Amie from the West Virginia University Extension Service Family Nutrition Program, and today we are going to read I Will Never, Not Ever Eat a Tomato, featuring Charlie and Lola, and written by Lauren Child. Let's take a look. I have this little sister Lola. She is small and very funny. Sometimes I have to keep an eye on her. Sometimes Mom and Dad ask me to give Lola her dinner. This is difficult because she is a very fussy eater. Lola won't eat carrots, of course. She says carrots are for rabbits. I say, what about peas? Lola says peas are too small and too green. One day, I played a good trick on her. Lola was sitting at the table waiting for her dinner, and she said, I do not eat peas, or carrots, or potatoes, or mushrooms, or spaghetti, or eggs, or sausages. I do not eat cauliflower, or cabbage, or baked beans, or bananas, or oranges. And I'm not fond of apples, or rice, or cheese, or fish sticks. And I absolutely will never, not ever, eat a tomato. My sister hates tomatoes. And I said, that is lucky because we are not having any of those things. We are not going to eat any peas or carrots or potatoes or mushrooms or spaghetti or eggs or sausages. There will be no cauliflower or cabbage or baked beans or bananas or oranges. We don't have any apples or rice or cheese or fish sticks, and certainly no tomatoes. Lola looked at the table. Then why are those carrots there, Charlie? I don't ever eat carrots. And I said, oh, you think these are carrots? These are not carrots. These are orange twiglets from Jupiter. They look just like carrots to me, said Lola. But how can they be carrots? I said. Carrots don't grow on Jupiter. That's true, said Lola. Well, I might just try one if they're all the way from Jupiter. Not bad, she said and took another bite. Then Lola saw some peas. I don't eat peas, said Lola. I said, these are not peas. Of course they are not. These are green drops from Greenland, and they're made out of green and fall from the sky. But I don't eat green things, Lola said. Oh, goody, I said. I'll have your share. Green drops are so incredibly rare. Well, maybe I'll nibble just one or two. Oh, said Lola. Quite tasty. Next, Lola saw the potato. I will not eat potato, so don't even try, not even mashed. Oh, this isn't mashed potato. People often think that, but no, this is cloud fluff from the pointiest peak of Mount Fuji. Oh, said Lola. In that case, a large helping for me. I love to eat cloud. Charlie, she said, those look like fish sticks to me, and I would never eat a fish stick. I know that. These are not fish sticks. These are ocean nibbles from the supermarket under the sea. Mermaids eat them all the time. Oh, I went to that supermarket one time with Mom. Yes, I know the ones. I think I've had them before, Lola said, gobbling. Are there any more? And then she said, Charlie, will you pass me one of those? And I said, what? One of those? And Lola said, yes, Charlie, one of those. And I couldn't believe my eyes because guess what she was pointing at? The tomatoes. And I said, are you sure? Really? One of these? And she said, yes, of course. Moon squirters are my favorite. Thanks for joining me for story time. I hope you enjoyed the book as much as I did. Today's recipe for you to try at home will be cinnamon carrot crunch. Let's go check out Molly in the kitchen.
Hi, I'm Molly with West Virginia University Extension Service Family Nutrition Program, and today we're going to make cinnamon carrot crunch. Before you start to cook, you want to make sure you wash your hands and clean your cooking area. I've just done that, so I'm ready to get started. Our ingredients for this recipe are 4 medium-sized carrots that have been washed, peeled, and grated, 2 medium apples that have been washed and chopped, 1 rib of celery that has been washed and chopped, 3/4 of a cup of vanilla yogurt, 1 teaspoon ground cinnamon, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, and 3/4 of a cup of raisins. Now these raisins I soaked in 1 cup of water in the refrigerator overnight. That just helps them to become softer and more plump for our recipe. Now what we're going to do is add our carrots. Carrots are super high in vitamin A. Really good for you. And then we're gonna add our apples. I left the peel on because that's where all the good healthy fiber is. Then our chopped celery. I'm gonna mix those 3 things together and then add what's considered our dressing. So I'm gonna add our raisins, our vanilla yogurt, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. Mix this all together until everything is coated and incorporated. We are going to put this in the refrigerator to chill before we eat it. I have some that I already have chilling in the fridge, so I'm gonna try it in just a second. Okay, I think everything's incorporated. So I'm gonna stick this in the fridge, grab the one I've already prepared, and give it a try. I've just gotten my cinnamon carrot crunch out of the refrigerator. It's nice and chilled, and I'm ready to give it a try. I'm gonna get a bite with all the ingredients in it. That is really good. It's sweet and crunchy and a refreshing snack. Perfect to make for the summer, keep in the fridge, eat for lunch, take to a barbecue. It's really good. Thanks so much for cooking with me.
It's important that every day we get physical activity in order to stay healthy. But how much physical activity do we need every day? Your body needs 60 minutes of physical activity every day at an aerobic level. Let me explain to you the 3 different types of physical activity. The first type is lifestyle. These things don't take a lot of effort, and it's something that you normally probably are already doing every day. For myself, Miss Amie, I go out and I feed my chickens every morning. That's a lifestyle activity. I also walk my dog. I do dishes, fold laundry. What types of lifestyle activities do you do? The next level of activity is aerobic activity. During aerobic activity, your heart pumps harder. You can hear and feel your breathing. You may become sweaty. This is the type of activity you need for 60 minutes every day. Examples of this could be riding your bike, running, jumping on a trampoline, anything that gets your blood up and pumping and moving around. And the third type of physical activity is muscle building. You should do muscle building activities at least 3 times a week. Examples would be push-ups, sit-ups. So, every time we're together, we're going to try to get a little bit of exercise. Come join me outside with my friend. thank you for joining me today. I'm glad that we were able to spend this time together and learn about what plants need to survive. Until next time, happy growing.
I'm Donnie Tenney with Appalachian Acres. Actually, we have the largest microgreen operation in Tolmansville, West Virginia. And actually, we're the only microgreens grower in Tolmansville. So I started looking and at the YouTubes on microgreens. I don't know how that popped up. How to make $1 million in microgreens. Well, I knew right off that wasn't going to work in West Virginia, but I tried some and they sold pretty good. This is radish. We have sunflower. This is the #1 microgreen, is sunflower, because it has a sweet, crunchy, a nice taste. Now you can grow them in the greenhouse, and I have before. The reason, you know, in the wintertime I grow in here because I can control the environment better. I've got heat in here and you got lights. With the sunflower, what we do, we use these thin trays, which use about half as much soil as your conventional tray, and that's really all they need. So then when we plant the sunflower, we go ahead and plant the radish, and then they mature at the same time. And then we stack them, and then we put some weight on top of them. And the reason for doing that is to force the roots down into the ground, into the soil, or the medium. You can see the roots. Then we cover them to make them stretch. You know, in 7, 10, 12 days, you're ready to harvest them. So you can use scissors. The problem with scissors, it kind of bruises the stems because you're cutting from both sides. But this knife, it's a stainless steel knife, and I keep it real sharp. People mix them in with their salads. I think that's what I encourage. Some of the people at the farmer's market would just buy a bag of them and just start eating them, just munching on them, you know. Or like I say, I like to take, especially the sunflower, if I'm making a sandwich, then instead of putting lettuce on, I just put a layer of sunflower, and it gives you a nice flavor, sweet flavor with it. I mean, it's rare that something tastes good and it's good for you. You know, that's a real jewel to find.
We're in Hernshaw, West Virginia, the mushroom capital of West Virginia. And this is Hernshaw Farms. This is Sam Umstadt, Chief of Production for Hernshaw Farms, and I'm George Patterson. I sort of run the place. This is a mushroom block. So it's essentially a combination of soybean hull and sawdust and some secret ingredients. You know, you got to keep some things secret, and we sterilize it so it goes under in this big huge barrel, which actually is just right over there. You know, it creates all this steam, it puffs up, you know, and then after 12 to 16 hours at 200 degrees, you know, you've got these blocks that are completely sterilized, so all the bacteria inside is killed, and it gives room for our mushroom mycelium to grow. So what we do is we break this up, take it and put it in one of these. Take this, essentially, and just put it in this bag. That's a mushroom block. Then it's moved to another room, which is warm like this one, where they sit in kind of like a warm hug for, you know, around a month.
You know, the mushrooms are growing, the mycelium's doing what it's supposed to do. And so we'll wait for these to get, these are close to pinning, and so when it pins, we'll put it into fruiting and open the bag up, so that way it can get some, get oxygen and then get water, and then it'll fruit, and we'll see some mushrooms. And then this is where they fruit, and they go through flushes or different stages. You know, they'll fruit, and we'll get mushrooms, and then we'll harvest, and then, you know, sometime later we can get another flush or another round of mushrooms. Yeah.
So, you know, it's not just like you pick the carrot once, mushrooms, you pick them two or three or four or five, and put on some gloves, and you just go in there and just pick them off the block and put them in the crate, and there you go. Then it goes into our fridge. It's really clean, and I actually don't want to step in there because my shoes are dirty. They're on your table or your local restaurant's table really soon. Say they didn't sell at the market this week, or that week, you know what I mean? They go right into the dehydrators. Actually, we sell a lot of our dried mushrooms, and we ship them all across the country through Etsy, and I have our own online retail. So that's really a big part of our business. In college, when I was bored, I would try to figure out solutions for things to do on mine land. It wasn't necessarily my love of mushrooms that brought me to mushrooms. There's not many other people doing this sort of thing, so it's absolutely, it's absolutely new territory. You really have a potential to create something that's perfect sort of for our climate and our people, and a good thing overall,